going around talking about Kimberly Martin and where does she come from and her take, and it's a lot of this going on. And they mad at Ryan Clark for what Ryan Clark, why is he always attacking a black woman? Why is people attacking black women this, black woman that? When is it going to come to the realization of holding people accountable? What she did was egregious. But what do y'all know about her? Where does she come from? What do we know about Kimberly Martin? No one is talking about that. See, I had to research her. That's why I didn't make a video. That's why nothing was said. That's why it was no big stir about me talking about her until I went and got the information. Now, Ryan Clark came out and talked about her assessment. Now, I'm always rooting for the black woman to get the opportunity to be seen, to be heard, all of these different things. But what Kimberly Martin said about Cam Newton was alarming for one reason and one reason only. She was on a panel with other people there. And rather have a critique or a, plausible rebuttal to what he said, she just went to attack a former most valuable player of the entire NFL, rookie of the year, the guy who was up for the Heisman Trophy in college, national champion winner, played in the Super Bowl. I'm having a hard time understanding how his opinion would be so invalid when it comes to talking about there's a difference between game managers and game changers. That statement that he made on his platform, not mentioning her at all, would have so much of an uproar that they have to have a roundtable discussion about. I'm having a hard time understanding why is that roundtable discussion combo. I didn't say he was. I said he won a national championship. So it seems to be agenda based. When you start to look at it, it starts to seem more and more agenda based. Does Cam Newton, what is he doing that would bring this type of disturbance? Cam Newton only talked about the show. It's his show. I don't understand what the problem was, really.
But today's video, I did covering that.
Who have had a lot to say about the comments that I made on my sports show, 4th and 1. Some true, some not so true, some subjective. All of it is still opinionated at the end of the day. I think the thing that I have a problem with is address the point that I made, not me. And I think oftentimes that happens in regards of athletes trying to make their point. It's easy for somebody to say,
move past the outfit for a second. So he's talking about all these NFL game managers. He sounds like the people literally tweeting at me from their basement, like, get back in the kitchen. Like, it's like you are.
First point that I want to make here is this: identifying the difference between a game manager and a game changer. Game manager is not a negative connotation. Cam, what do you mean by game manager? My definition of that managing player is a player who has the ability to make the right play at the right time, protecting the football at all costs. There's times in my career where I figured this out. Sometimes, Kim, you don't have to take over a game. Allow other players to do that. If we're getting personal here, there was times in my career where I did it, and there's times in my career where I didn't do it. When I think about ultimate elite game managers, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, game changer and game manager is not something where I'm saying this person is not physically capable of making some great plays. I'm not saying that. Or I am not saying that they're not good players. There is really only 3 to potentially 5 game changers in the NFL right now. Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, that's what Cam Newton has.
Now that's what Cam said. Right? In response to this woman right here. Now, she didn't have anything to rebut anything that was basically said. So that was the problem that we had and we were faced with and we were dealing with. Is that you are a sports analyst and you don't have the answers. How are you a sports analyst on this show? And this is your job, to rebuke what he's saying. Though I agree, Tom Brady used to be a game manager, but he became a game changer also. So I get his point. I don't think it's anything debatable about it. Now, it's that she went to making personal attacks, that people think she should stay in the kitchen. From her and her professional career and her stands, I don't even trust her in the kitchen. I don't trust you in the kitchen. You're probably not as good there either. Oh, what do I mean? Oh, let's go back to when she was on ESPN before.
You guys are the old guy that's new stuff, but our Kimberly Martin has more on
Kimberly Martin. Who remembers this?
Thanks, Sam. The post-game interaction between Patrick Mahomes and Stephon Gilmore caused a stir last week, and rightfully so. Things that were once normal now give us all pause. Shortly after, Stephon Gilmore tested positive for COVID-19. And it was another reminder of how players have to be safe during these unprecedented times. And that brings to mind another tradition that's taking place behind the scenes instead of on the field.
You see what I'm saying? How are you qualified to get the job? She went from looking like Jamel Hill. She went from looking like Jamel Hill to looking like Beyonce. You went from Jamel Hill to Beyonce. How'd that happen? Because Stephen A. Smith personally plucked you out. He personally plucked you out. You went from Jamel Hill, he took charge and plucked you out. Why did he do that? What did he see in you? He got you to change your hair, get your eyebrows done, get your makeup, your lipstick done. You out here looking like Beyonce. You went from this with the bamboo earrings to this.
A lot of change in the last 8 months.
Now, in 8 months, let's see her career. Because other people don't know about her. Well, let's see what happened.
Kimberly Martin is with us from the Washington Post, the beat writer, and you're always with the Redskins, right?
I am as of 8 months ago, yes. It's been it's a short time in Washington, but it's been a fun time so far.
Right, you were with the New York Jets, right?
Yeah, a lot of Redskins fans probably don't know this, but a year ago I was covering Jets training camp. I've been a beat writer in New York for at least 5 or 6 years, and then I had a brief stint as a columnist in Buffalo before coming to the Post in November. So a lot of change in the last 8 months, but it's been fun.
And now she's bleeding burgundy and gold, people.
I don't know about all that.
Now, as you can see, she's been bounced around the whole league as a sideline reporter or beat writer for the magazines and everything else, right? So she follows protocol. She write what they want to hear. Then she wasn't good enough, so they moved on to the next. She see a job open up, she'll leave. She'll take this job, go here. Now I'm going to lead the Jets. I'm going to go here. Oh, I'm going to go here now. But why is she doing all this? Because she was never good enough. See, people hear you make comments like that on the air, and now they want to question your credentials. And they saw you choking up, doing sideline reporting on the news. You're choking up your audio on the NFL show. ESPN didn't know what they were going to do with you. Everybody's figuring out what they're going to do with Kimberly Martin. And Stephen A. said, ooh, give it to me. Now he turns her into a Beyonce, makes up a rumor like all the guys want her. Start going through her phone on the show. He gonna be the next casualty. He gonna be the next casualty of Me Too. Because he thinks he's untouchable. All his crazy behaviors, he think he's untouchable. Yeah, the chicks got two looks out here. Kim Kardashian and Beyonce. All these chicks want to look like one or the other. Mm-hmm. course she did. Kimberly Martin went from this. She had the black hair. The hair was all out. They started putting her on First Take, sitting her up there, wearing outfits. Now she looking like this. Got her best I'm Beyonce look going on. Look totally psycho. Psycho woman, natural woman. Now see, she look entirely different there. Look at her now. Totally with the agenda, brainwashed. Right, because if Molly leave, they got their new Molly. They got their Kimberly Martin, and they got to make sure she gonna play ball. Molly go on vacation, have her sick days. You bring her on the show. Oh, they not sexist? Oh, okay. You have to have a certain look to be on the show. And look how Stephen A is looking. Yeah. So it's all about the look more than the skill. If she was really that talented and really that gifted, and most of these people were writers, beat writers, dreamed of getting on the camera. Jemele Hill never dreamed on being on camera. She wanted to just write and be a writer. They convinced her to go in front of the camera. And they did the same thing to Jemele Hill they did with her, dressed her all up. Now she rubbing shoulders with Oprah Winfrey. And that's that. But Stephen A, he feel comfortable enough to take the phone from her.
She has a pick charger. Yeah. I just was looking at that, that's all.
Phones are private properties there, Stephen A.
Grab mine.
He going in her phone. Why would Stephen A feel that good and that strong to pick up a woman's phone?
Why you on
She has a pick charger.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Look. Get all up in her phone.
I just was looking at that.
She's looking at the producers. Like, this dude just took my phone. Can he do that?
That's all.
Phones are private properties there, Stephen A.
Grab mine.
What if somebody's business text
I wasn't looking at the text. I was looking at the portable big charger. But you may continue. Go ahead.
I was looking at this portable charger, but you can continue.
Disappointing.
See,
Right.
here's what she did. You know what Molly never would have done? When I am schooling you on something, she wouldn't have said, oh, bro, a pink charger. She would have directed the conversation from sports.
She would have been.
Yeah, he's like, I'm disappointed.
He's deflected because he knows he's wrong, but it's okay.
She would have been a bit stymied, obviously looking for.
All up in her phone. Why are you in this woman's phone? That's creepy. Mm-hmm. creep mode. Well, the thing is, when you don't get the credit you deserve, or you feel as if someone has wronged you, And they was like, man, y'all just dragging a black woman under the bus. No, we expect better. Us being black people, we had to be exceptional at our jobs in order to get to certain places. We had to be exceptional. We couldn't have the same mistakes. We had to be better. There was a requirement for us to be better at what it is that we do, because we knew there was small margin for us than it was anybody else. So we had to leave no stone unturned. We had to make sure every T, every I was dotted. We had to make sure everything that we did was on the nose. Everything we did had to be on the nose. So how is somebody who's this raw, green, as far as talent, is on one of the #1 shows on ESPN? How? That's what I'm saying. How? You know the saying goes, never ever reveal too much or talk too much. The longer you talk, right? The longer you talk, you end up revealing something. So they say a fool could definitely get away with a lot.
I need you guys to
just by not opening his mouth. But the longer they talk, the more ignorant they start to sound. Oh, yeah. Well, when you're in situations that don't make any sense,
all of our. Well, it's all.
no. What I'm talking about is quality and complications and all of these things. I'm talking about being qualified to do the job that you were hired for. There is a large list of people who don't even get to be on ESPN. That's not here nor there.
Yeah, that's what Cam Newton had.
Well, see, and that's the cause of a lot of people's downfall right now, and it's gonna stir the pot even more. Is that when when certain people are put in a position,
But only thing I think that
you can't be in a position like that as a black person and be that reckless. So now people are saying, well, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing?
Man, dream.
Mm-hmm. That's because people don't want to see the situation go. How did she get the job? She seems green to be on the show. If you were listening to her answer, she was just giving an answer on the spot, and it made no sense what she's saying about Cam. Now you got to be thinking, what else she said on the show that don't make any sense? She said a lot, and none of it was really recorded or taken to heart, but she's there to follow the protocol. She went along with the boys. She saw all the boys was jumping on them. And so when it came to her time, she just turned around and just said, well, I don't know what's going on. Let me just dump on them too. All of these people are like fools to me. I look at it and it don't really add up. Mm. What's the narrative? It kind of is what it is. She's never been somebody who I looked at and like when Stephen A. Smith talked about Kimberly Martin's not available. What was that about? She's on there to be comic relief. You probably saying what I'm talking about, right? Let's take another clip. Look at this.
A couple of things. Number one, those lime green fingernails you rocking, I liked them a few weeks ago when you had on the outfit to rock with it. I don't know if that goes with the outfit.
I don't like that tie, but here we are on the show doing it. So we have to deal with what we're doing.
Maybe if you wasn't sitting in my chair, I wouldn't critique you so harshly, okay? But you in my chair, and I'm saying, what's up with the lime green? But that's a different subject for another. That's number one. Thanks for watching ESPN.
Now that's what First Take has become. It has become a dog and pony show. Right, and they bring her on there for these type of moments. He taking her phone. He talking about her fingernails. It's like, is this why she's on the show? So she don't have a qualified opinion. We've already proven she's very inept at her job, or green, just like Malika Andrews. So now they're saying we're just gonna get hacks to do this because anybody can do y'all jobs. We're not gonna pay the people that's qualified to do it. ESPN is shifting. Why waste our money? Paying people that could do the job. We could bring in a bunch of hacks. Chick went from looking like Jamel Hill, now she thinks she's Beyonce. She was a beat writer for 5 years for the Jets. Then they bounced her around. She was with Washington. They ran up out of there. Now here she is.
Big day, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to First Take on this Friday Eve. Someone's ready for Thirsty Thursday, you know.
And look at Stephen A. Up there in the doggone. Everybody loves the sunshine. Do 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 do. Feel when I feel when I feel it. Sunshine. Still up here in the sunshine outfit. Everybody loves the sunshine. He making me think about lemonade. This is what the show is right now.
I'm talking about. Woody, it's so good to see you. What's going on with you? No. I need you to stand up.
Why?
Stand up. Meg, can you please get Stephen A? Get the whole up.
What's the problem?
Get the whole up.
What's the problem?
What's going on with you lately?
What's the problem?
I mean, this is.
Boy, you look like some mango sorbet right now. Like that's what you looking like right now.
The way to interpret that, you know what I'm saying?
See, they wear this. This is all staged. He wore that knowing that they were going to do this and make this into part of the show. Right. It was just 3 years ago she was out here like this.
That's new stuff. But our Kimberly Martin has more on how that's adapted in 2020.
Well, tell us, Kimberly.
Thanks, Sam. The post-game interaction between Patrick Mahomes and Stephon Gilmore caused a stir last week, and rightfully so. Things that were once normal now give us all pause. Shortly after, Stephon Gilmore tested positive for COVID-19. And it was another reminder of how players have to be safe during these unprecedented times. And that brings to mind another tradition that's taking place behind the scenes instead of on the field.
Now, everybody has a low light, you know? They have a low light. They'll have a bad moment or a brain freeze. But nobody's out here chasing Kimberly Martin. Why is Stephen A. trying to make that a narrative? Ryan Clark did right by calling her out. And Mr. Thirsty Man going through her phone. That made no sense. But nobody thirsty for this woman. But they make thumbnails to try to make it look like, man, he won't her.
Okay, so Kim.
Ain't nobody doing that.
Okay, so Cam Newton was
Yeah, let's see what Ryan Clark had to say.
Like even from like my network that I work on to the Warren Sapps of the world, people really attacking Cam and saying, well, this is what you were in your last 3 years and all those things. Why do you think people went at who Cam was as a player instead of just speaking to his opinion and being able to say, no, I think Brock Purdy is this. I think Tua Tagovailoa is this. I think Dak Prescott is this. When I look at what Cam Newton said and the reaction to it, I think this way, first of all, everyone is talking about where Cam is now and speaking from the fact that he's not on a team and that he may want to be on a team. Guess what? All of us that give our opinion, right, either can't play anymore, nobody wants us to play anymore, right. And in some of these people cases, you never played because you couldn't play. So to speak about where Cam is making the comment from now is wrong, right? And to treat Cam as what I heard from somebody, to treat Cam as someone tweeting from their mother's basement is also wrong. Because what Cam Newton's perspective is different. Cam Newton's perspective is over 700 first place Heisman votes because I had 48 touchdowns in the SEC. I led the SEC in rushing with 1,400 plus yards. I threw for over 2,600 yards. It's being rookie of the year with 4,000 yards passing, which was a rookie record.
14 touchdowns.
Right? 14 rushing touchdowns, right? Which was the most ever. It's in 2015 accounting for 45 touchdowns, 10 of those rushing. And doing it his rookie year with Steve Smith at age 32 as his number one receiver, an old Jeremy Shockey, a young Greg Olsen, a leading rusher who only had 800 yards. Doing it in 2015 with Devin Funchess and Glenn, right? And so when he's looking at these quarterbacks, you know what he can say? Of the three I named, only one of them won Rookie of the Year, and that's Dak Prescott. Of the three I named, only one of them have thrown for over 4,000 yards, which I did as a rookie, right? Of the three I named, none of them have ever won an MVP, right? And so when Cam Newton is looking at that, he's looking at it from that perspective. And in looking at it from that perspective, I don't agree with his opinion about Dak Prescott, but I do agree with his opinion about the other two in some ways. But my point is this though, why do we as analysts get to talk about that man like he wasn't one of the best we ever seen do it at one time? Because when I make a comment, I don't expect people to respond to my comment with, oh, you were an undrafted free agent safety. When other people on TV make a comment, you don't expect them to respond with, oh, you played basketball at an HBCU and you were just a reporter. Or you are a woman who just reports from the sideline. Or you are a quarterback that was a backup his entire career, right? Those personal attacks on Cam in his lows forget his highs. And as everybody is entitled to an opinion, I don't know if it's his platform, I don't know if it's his clothes, I don't know if it's his bravado, I don't know if it's his paint job. But Cam Newton saying that people are game managers, when you say it and hear it all the time on TV, that a guy like Kirk Cousins, for his entire career, everyone has called him a game manager and he's one of the richest quarterbacks that's playing football right now, it's wrong. And so when you speak on Cam and his opinion, talk about his opinion, because all of these people who are spewing this vitriol at who Cam Newton is today were never what Cam Newton was at his height. And that is the perspective and that is the perch in which he's making his assessment on, which is okay to make, because all these people who now get paid to do it never did it like him and aren't doing it anymore. So it shouldn't matter where he's making the comment from.
And that's all we were saying. But we didn't get that type of response. We didn't get that type of notoriety or that type of respect. We didn't get that. You know what we got? We got the finger. Who are you? How dare you? Your audacity. That's what we got. They gave us they butt to kiss. We don't know what we talking about. We never played the game. How many times I make a comment about LeBron rather than them saying, okay, I heard what you said about LeBron. Let me attack what you're saying about LeBron. They go attack me. They come right for me. And I'm like, wait a minute. But you ain't covering what I'm saying. Y'all act like I just said he's a bum, and then that's it. Naturally, somebody be like, why you think LeBron a bum? And then I give them the answer. Boom. That's why I think he a bum. Now what? They can't follow that up. And why they can't follow it up? Because they can't refute anything that you're saying about him because they know it's true. So instead of trying to refute it, they just said, well, how can the man with most points in history be a bum? I said, let me explain that to you too. See, I have the reasons. I could back it up. Something most of them can't do. They make statements that they can't back up. Not me. Right. So you look at Kimberly Martin. 1, not qualified. Right? They trying to capitalize off the color of her skin. But she play ball. She do what she told. Kind of reminds you of somebody else, don't it? Malika Andrews. Somebody who be in the damn room being a sideline reporter forever. But she got a certain look they could capitalize off of and use her for stupid takes. Like her fingernails, or let me play with her phone, and all this goofiness that they put on their show. So I found out her worth to the network real quick when I said, let me go research and find out who this woman is and what she's been doing. You notice, I didn't make a video about her. When this thing broke out, I didn't say nothing. I waited. And now that we're here, this is where we at. Mm-hmm. Cam was not comparing himself to those quarterbacks or to those players. He wasn't comparing himself to any of them. What Cam said is, this is my opinion on it. There are game managers and game changers, period. Why was that enough to upset people to attack Cam Newton? Who decided that should be the topic that he made from his own podcast show? Was that a big enough for them to do? Or was there an agenda behind it? Now we talking. What's the agenda? Oh, the agenda is we have to spread to the sports world that Cam is losing his mind. We don't like Cam because why? Cam's doing his own thing. Cam still wants to actively play. We have to make that sound ridiculous. Oh, Cam Newton wants to play. We're like, what? That's what they're going to say. Cam shouldn't be playing. He shouldn't be on a team. But see, what they don't want to show you and what they don't want to tell you is that all of these quarterbacks that's still in the league, you'd be like, man, Mitch Trubisky is still in the NFL? If these guys can't contend and they could play, why Cam can't play? What's wrong with Cam and why he's not playing? Why he can't be a backup to somebody? You tell me Cam Newton can't come in the league right now and be a backup. He couldn't come on there. Joe Flacco just got a win against the Chicago Bears. And you telling me Joe Flacco is better than Cam Newton? But Cam shouldn't be playing. See, that's the narrative they want to create. They want you to have that narrative. They want you to walk away with that narrative. You telling me Cam Newton can't back up the starting quarterback they got in Carolina? Why, that guy's learning on the fly. The #1 draft pick. He's learning on the fly. You think he couldn't learn some things from Cam on the sideline? half these quarterbacks that's starting in the league right now is probably third stringers. Purdy, you got Minnesota, got a rookie. Look at all the teams and the quarterbacks. Houston got what? Stroud, Stout, Washington. Look, ain't no big name quarterbacks out there no more. These are like third stringers and rookies. Right, they got Danny DeVito running out here for the Giants. So that's what I'm telling you. The quarterback position is open. If I'm Cam Newton, I'd be like, well, I know I could goddamn play. But they can't justify it, just like they can't justify when they had, what's his name, Kaepernick sitting out. But Cam was way better than Cap. And that's no cap. Cam was actually, I don't even have to say it. You just heard Ryan Clark give the whole take on it. Every word he said was correct. So when you have somebody that sits in front of millions of people and say what they just said recklessly as they said it out of their mouths, and it spots and puts a highlight on the fact that they don't know what the hell they talking about, it echoes the hiring process. What is going on? Yep, scrub. So, on that note, right. Like, she's not really worth all that attention. But it just shows you they don't hire the right people for the jobs anymore. They just go with hackless people. That's what you're seeing right now on YouTube. Anybody who can kiss ass and play ball, those are the people they protect. Everybody else, you can get ostracized and get pushed right out of the business. They don't care. They'll find another you next week. So let me go ahead, get prepared for tonight and get this content out on the Patreon. Definitely pay attention to the Patreon today. We got some more explosive news coming. I just had to get back home and get my feet under me because I can't even believe it, to tell you the truth. I'm out.